I'm here with Paul and Hannah. Say hello.
Hi.
You could say these two are the brains behind the whole operation. We're going to talk a little bit about your songs, and we're going to talk about the trip. We'll start with the songs. So you two wrote two of the main tracks.
Yeah.
Did you like? What were they then?
80,000 Gallons and Steam Fair.
There we go. Of course, these can be listened to along with Dan's Alfred and Hubber on the album launch next Tuesday, so be sure that you're there. So do you want to talk a little bit about these tracks then? Let's start with 80,000 Gallons, shall we? What's that all about?
Well, this track is pretty much guitar driven, and
Right.
the whole track's based around this guitar riff I had.
Right.
And yeah, I brought it to Hannah, and Hannah was pretty good with coming up with a melody to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd written some lyrics kind of separately to the guitar track, and we both figured that they'd sound quite good together.
Sure. What were the influences behind the sound of the track, would you say? Because obviously you say it's guitar.
Yeah.
There's a distinct melody,
Yeah.
distinct lyrics. But what was the influence behind
Well,
the sound?
in terms of the music, I immediately knew that I wanted to write a song which is based on folk influences, and I thought acoustic guitar would be the way to go.
Mm.
And yeah, and then I was just playing around with ideas and trying to make it as folky as possible, because I think that's a big aspect of PJ Harvey's sound.
So PJ Harvey was a big,
yeah, definitely.
was the big driving force behind it.
Yeah,
Of course.
The fact that it's repetitive as well, I think
Yeah,
she
it's very
uses a lot of that.
yeah,
Yeah.
and yeah, then Hannah's lyrics, I don't know.
Yeah,
what to say about it.
the lyrics were inspired pretty much by the Dorset, especially the Poole area's history of smuggling, and I looked into the life of one of the most famous smugglers in Poole, Isaac Gulliver, who was kind of pretty much a huge driving force behind the whole smuggling operation in Poole. I found the story about him, which the last verse is based on, where he faked his own death to avoid the excise men. So that's the last.
The excise men, were they like the police?
Yeah, pretty much like the people who would enforce the smuggling, basically the smuggling police, I suppose, just to stop it all.
Right. Hello there. Will Webster again, doing another interview. I've got Dan Wilson-Stone over here.
Hey.
And we're going to talk about his song a little bit. So hope you enjoy. Dan, over to you. So you wrote the song Alfred and Hubber, isn't that right?
Yep.
Could you tell us a little bit about it? Tell us what it's all about.
The song is about the island of Corfe during the Anglo-Saxon period. It was being pillaged by Danish Vikings. So King Alfred met up with Hubber the Dane, and they struck a truce for a convenient marriage. But then it was broken, so they went to battle. And the battle took place at sea, and there was a fierce and horrific storm which killed mostly all of everyone. Like there was huge losses on both sides.
Goodness me.
Yeah.
So was there a victor? So who have we got? We've got Hubber the Dane.
Yeah.
He's the Viking.
Yeah.
And who was the other guy again?
King Alfred.
King Alfred.
Yeah.
And who won the fight? That's what we want to know.
When I looked it up, it didn't really say who won. It just said there was huge losses on both sides. I think both of them ended up dying.
Both the two main characters.
I think so. Yeah. Don't quote me on that.
That's a tragic story.
Yeah.
But it's a very good song. We'll start by saying that.
Thank you.
It's almost like a drinking song. Wouldn't you agree? Like a folky sort of style.
Yeah.
But which contrasts greatly with the fact that it's about a massive storm killing a shed load of guys. But it came out on top, and it's a very good track. Obviously, you'll be able to hear it when we showcase the album launch next Tuesday. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Steam Fair.
Yeah.
Do you want to explain a little bit about that?
Yeah, I mean, it was similar. The process was similar. I was bringing in the music, and then Hannah was.
So you wrote the guitar lick, did you, or was there something else?
I think the lyrics sort of came first, didn't they?
The lyrics came first, yeah.
Because I wanted to write like a kind of carnival sounding song, because that's a huge. Well, if you listen to PJ Harvey's album, there's especially on like the first track, that it sounds very kind of carnival-y.
Sure.
And we both kind of had an idea in mind that we wanted to write a song in 3/4 time, so like which would sound like awards pretty much.
Yeah.
And then Hannah brought in lyrics, and I was thinking about a chord progression. And for this song, I wanted to use a capo on the guitar to make it more open sounding.
Sure.
Because that is what Peter Harvey did on her album a lot as well.
Oh, I see.
And and we kind of worked on that.
Yeah.
I came up with the music.
Yeah.
Which was very fitting to Hannah's lyrics.
And then the lyrics are carnival based as well, are they?
Yeah.
Are they kind of based around that?
They're based on kind of the Great Dorset Steam Fair, mostly. I wanted to get some less historical things from the album as well, because I think a lot of the songs that people have wrote are very kind of history and folktale based, and I wanted to get something that was a bit more up to date. And I thought about the contrast when you go to like a fun fair, the contrast between the nice happy kind of carousel sort of daytime bit and then at night when it gets a bit rough.
When the chimes come out.
Yeah. To put it in so many words.
Yeah, so you were obviously at the recording session at the church.
Yeah.
How did that go? How did you find that?
Yeah, it went really well. Like, everything kind of sounded as I wanted it to sound. It was pretty good. Like, the backing vocals worked really well with it, the group singing and stuff like that. Yeah, so.
Your track in particular, would you say that was a standout? Or would you?
I think altogether, like, it definitely all just, everything worked.
Yeah?
Really, really well, yeah.
Well, I know the band was sort of linked in.
Yeah.
They sort of got everything down. Worked very well. What about the sound the church made itself? Like, was it as we imagined? Was there like some nice reverb? Was it? You know, obviously when we went in there was a high ceiling. Did you think that had an effect to it?
Yeah, definitely. Like, adds. I'm not really sure what the word is, but definitely like the acoustics of the room definitely have a pretty big difference to like doing it in like a standard recording studio.
For sure.
Yeah, and it gives it like this kind of just nice feel to everything really that you don't really get from a studio, no matter how much like mastering you do to it afterwards. You just get like a really nice organic sort of.
With that in mind, you can see why PJ Harvey decided to record there.
Yeah, definitely.
I certainly can. I mean, I know from being in the recording room that when Jamie was hitting his drums, just the toms, you could hear it.
Yeah.
It would carry on for ages. And a little bit of trivia for you, we had to keep the recording going 18 seconds after you'd finished, just to let the last of the sound dissipate. That's the kind of sound we got there.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like that.
But on a whole, you enjoyed the trip, did you?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Could be the only time I ever get to do something like that, so that was all pretty cool and interesting. It's good to just take everything in.
Yeah.
It was quite nice to be out of touch with the rest of the world because there was no signal.
It was certainly out of the world,
Yeah.
wasn't it? Yeah, no doubt. And the Jurassic Coast providing the scenic landscape for us.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say you're pleased with how the songs came out? Because obviously it wasn't so much in your hands, it was obviously the band to think about, and then there was the chorus, and they had a lot of responsibility, didn't they? I think it's fair to say. So you were pleased with the outcome altogether?
I was surprised even.
Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised. I hadn't, because I think 80,000 Gallons turned into it sort of had a bit of a gospel in this, like Jenny and Paul kind of brought in a bit of a gospel kind of work song sort of vibe to it, and I wasn't expecting that, but I think it worked really well.
That would go in line with the repetitiveness of it all, wouldn't it? Yeah. Like the whole chain going.
Yeah.
It added something to it.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't think of putting something like a gospel into the song before.
Sure.
So I did at first I didn't know how it would turn out, but listening back to it, I thought it was a very good idea.
Yeah.
It ran fairly smoothly.
It was good recording process.
Being in the recording room, it seemed to be really moving very smoothly anyway. And I mean I too I was pleased with the outcome as well. And the church itself was wonderful. I think you'll agree.
Yeah. Definitely.
Very nice place, very quaint. But well, thank you very much. I think we've covered pretty much everything now. So that's it.